the TeamClearCoat podcast. We're two friends finally doing something about our obsession with cars.
We're probably not doing it well, but it should be fun, and we might actually learn something along the way. I'm Dave.
And I'm Ian, and this is our show.
What? Blowing out the levels already.
But what?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the TeamClearCoat podcast.
What? We already did that in the intro.
I'm Dave.
I'm Ian. What?
Ian, I did something.
You did do something. You did do it.
Ladies
and it was a surprise.
It was.
You kept it from me.
I did.
We'll talk about that later. But so Dave, I pulled up to the house. First of all, I sent him a text letting him know that, as always, I was very excited to poop in his house.
That's all you use me for anymore. Is I'm just my.
You're it's a known peaceful pooping spot, which I have a
a
4-year-old and a 1-month-old, so
a KPP. Okay.
Known peaceful pooping spot.
KPPS.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's it's my once a week bowel movement, which is totally normal, right? And so I was arriving at Dave's house today, expecting to have my normal once a week poop.
Right. And the first question I asked you when you were pulled up, because I was taking out my trash. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tomorrow's large item collection day, so there's going to be some exhaust pieces out there for the garbage man, garbage person.
And you were like, "How urgent is this?" And I was like, "It's not unurgent." And you were like, "Good enough."
Yeah. I was like, "Well, if he shits himself when he sees the Viggen, then so be it."
Yeah.
So I walked you back to my garage
and said you had lights to show me.
I did actually install new LED lights in my garage.
Did not notice them.
They're super bright and they're awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had them on sale at Costco, and they're like, you don't have to change the bulbs. It's all like contained in one thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I wired those up. They're great. Yeah. But guess what? I'm going to need them because I've got something to work on again.
So you lured me into your garage under false pretenses.
Right. It wasn't, I had like little trails, like shots of whiskey lined up and promises of like a limited edition beta band EP you've never heard of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm interested. Tell me more.
See, I do know how to get you into my garage.
I'll go into that dark alley. Yeah. Sounds great. So we go in and there's a blue 99 Viggen 3-door in there.
Yeah.
Wily old coot you.
So
it looks great on the driver's side.
It does. Yeah. So I mean, let's give the whole story of the Viggen. Yeah. So
how many miles are on it?
212,000. Yeah. So a lot of miles.
That's a lot of miles.
But these engines do run a long time. So
yeah. There is rust, right?
I bought it from a really nice guy named Peter. Okay. So thank you, Peter, who lives up towards Vail. So he was nice enough to meet my girlfriend and I in A-Basin today. So my girlfriend and I had gone up to Vail last week to go see it. And so everything came through, and Peter's a super nice guy, and I'm really thankful to carry on the ownership of this specific Viggen.
Yeah.
So he's from Maine, and so it's been in Maine for a while, which explains the rust, right? Mm-hmm. But the key thing is he's the second owner of the car. He's had it for 8 years, and under his ownership, he's a super mechanical guy. Like he's done some great work. He's like the way I kept up Dusty Rusty, he's kept this up.
Yeah. No, you could tell that there's been some care done.
Right.
Care made into
some
it.
Bleeding emotionally,
so this is
financially.
an old picture then, right? Because those wheels aren't on the car now.
Correct.
The badge is still there.
That's the glue from the badge. If you zoom in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the badges are missing, and there's some bubbling on the passenger side.
Yep. The whole passenger door is going to have to go. So I'm going to source a 9.3 door.
Uh-huh. So for the people who don't know, tell the people why the Viggen is a special car.
Sure. So first of all, for me, for me, the Viggen is Saab at its absolute peak, right? And it's not quite seen like that in the Saab community. Like some people really like it, some people
would say the SPG,
right?
From
the SPG
80s would be the peak.
Exactly.
Some people would argue that my car is
right
the one at its peak.
Exactly.
Those people are wrong.
But for me, it's always, ever since I knew the Viggen was a thing, and I knew the Viggen was a thing before I was a Saab owner.
Yeah.
It always just captivated me. Like the fact that specifically a 3-door Viggen, but anytime I saw a 5-door Viggen, it still made me happy.
Yeah.
So the Viggen is something special. So the things that make it special besides the body kit, you can see this big front bumper here, right? And so that's like the Viggen body kit. Peter took this picture, so thank you, Peter. And specifically this big front lip, this is good to place all of the alcoholic beverages that you need to maintain the car and tools and rags and stuff like that. But for some reason, that overhang, that chin jut, just like seals everything for me. I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It looks cool, and it's always looked cool.
So instead of the 2.0 engine, it has a 2.3 liter, right? Which actually makes a pretty big difference in first gear. Like that lower end torque it really does. It is my first T7 car, and you can't really quite mod it as much as you can the 204s as easily. There's still stuff like you can do an open air intake, but you can't have like a K&N because like that oil will dirty up the mass airflow sensor, stuff like that, right? You can't have a blow off valve. You have to have a diverter valve.
Oh, really?
So you can't, like, I can't have turbo noises like like Dusty Rusty. I know, right? But so you have to have it divert back into the intake.
Why can't you?
Because the engine and ECU do not like that air does not come back at gear shift intervals.
Weird.
Yeah.
So there's some sensor like in the mass airflow sensor or something?
Yeah, I don't know. But like if you want, let's say you happen to have a T7 Saab. Okay. And the check engine light happens to not be on. And the bulb is actually working behind it.
Crucial.
Right?
Crucial.
Right? So let's say on that bizarre set of circumstances, just go buy a lottery ticket, first of all. But let's say all that happens. If you want an instant way to make your check engine light come on, put a blow-off valve on instead of a diverter valve.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Right? Yeah. So that's why the T7 engine kind of gets a little bit of shade on it, but, whatever. So, so I like... Yeah, this is the holy grail. This is a bucket list car for me. This color, this configuration.
Yeah.
I want the 99 because I think that might be the only year that they did the two-tone leather inserts on the seats.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the seats are cool. They've seen better days.
Well, it's 20-year-old leather.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're cool. They're really cool.
The bolsters are great.
The shaping on them is really interesting, and the shape has held up.
It has.
It's just the leather is split.
Yeah. So I'll get them reupholstered. Yeah.
So that brings us to your plans for the car, and I think I know what the plans are.
Okay. All right.
I don't think you're going to build a track monster.
I'm not.
I think you plan on restoring this car.
You're exactly right. I plan on restoring it. I plan on properly restoring it.
Okay.
To as best showroom quality as I can.
So does that mean that you're going to undo some of the modifications? Are you going to take it back to stock ride height?
No, I'm not. So if anything, Peter told me that the Conies could probably be sent out for a rebuild.
Yeah.
So he
has lowering springs and then he has Coney yellow shocks.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So the same thing I did with the R32.
Exactly. Yeah. So to me, this is like I don't want to take it necessarily back to like exact stock because I don't think in stock form they're the best. Right. But I think stock-ish with a few tasteful mods is like the absolute peak to me.
Well, and the thing about the mods too is that they're like period correct.
Right, exactly.
And they're the mods that like a Saab Viggen owner would do.
You're exactly right. Yeah.
Like a Saab Viggen owner who cared about spirited driving would upgrade the brakes.
Yep,
they would
put
the Saab
the Viggen Rescue Kit on it. Yeah, so that's a steering rack brace that basically bolts your steering rack and firewall to the strut tower to keep everything from flexing.
That's so It's so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you said the rear sway bar too.
The rear sway bar, yeah. And so it's a genuine Saab rear sway bar, and Taliaferro, the guy in Springfield, the same guy that makes the exhaust. I mean,
Is it just like a big rear sway bar to kind of dial out some understeer?
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, I think it's a 22 millimeter sway bar. The stock sway bar on Dusty Rusty, you could take off and just bend with your hands. Yeah. It was like you might as well have a picture of a sway bar.
So
underneath
how does it drive?
It drives amazing.
How's the ride compared to Dusty Rusty?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. You can tell it's a little lowered and there's a little bit less travel. It's not too crashy or anything like that. It's fantastic.
The Coney Yellows, I mean,
they're great.
I like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously,
I haven't checked to see what they're dialed in at.
Yeah.
But I'll probably loosen them up just a little bit, but
at least in the front, go harder in the rear so you get the benefit
get a little
of that sway bar,
rotation.
get a little rotation out of it.
Yeah.
Are you going to track it at all?
Nope. I'm probably never going to track it.
Really?
Yep. I think Old Man Sedan is
okay.
The track. If I'm picking the car between the two of them that I'm going to track, it's going to be my Infiniti. To be honest, yeah.
Okay.
I have just a quick aside. So, like speaking of Saab meetups, right?
Okay.
I've been liquidating all of my old Dusty Rusty parts on Craigslist, right? So I had the individual come over that promptly broke down in the street in front of me and spewed coolant all over as he parked his car in front of my house, right? But I have a success story, Ian. I met a guy on Craigslist that needed some Saab parts. So this was like the clearance. Like everything must go, right? Except for 2 sets of wheels and tires, right? Guy's name is Pat. He has a 1999 5-door 900 or 9.3 because it's the 1999. That he got super cheap, and he's doing tons of work to fix it up. So I just like threw the whole thing at him for like, just a couple $100, like tons of stuff. And like now we like text back and forth. It's like,
oh, you got a buddy. You got a Craigslist buddy.
I have a non-rapey Craigslist buddy.
So far.
Yeah, exactly. So he had his car was misfiring. And he came over, and I gave him a 2-for-1 special on direct ignition cassettes. So right in the driveway, we pulled his direct ignition cassette.
Yeah.
And one of the boots had a giant crack down the side. I had heard about them cracking. I've never seen one. And so the spark was just arcing to the block of the engine.
So the boot, like, how far down on the spark plug does it go?
So the spark plug sticks up maybe about 1.5 inches, right?
Okay.
And then the boot goes down on top of that.
Oh, okay.
Right? But the boot is about 3.5 inches, maybe 4 inches long, and the crack was all the way up it.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Which is not good. Like all the electronics are in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those electrons were going
Exactly.
that way.
I'm trying to look on my phone to see if I can pull up the picture. But he sent me a text today. He had popped a turbo a boost hose on the intercooler, and it's a miracle. So he went from 14 psi to 0 psi, which I mean, like in these cars, like they're slow without a turbo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the cracked boot.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's no good.
So he pulled it. And I was like, well, there's your problem. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's on the live stream. Yeah. Misfire, cylinder 3.
Crazy.
Right? Yeah.
Those we've talked about this before several times, but those cassette things are such a double-edged sword.
They are.
Like you're 95% sure you're going to fix the problem in one
fell swoop. One fell swoop.
The problem is
in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is a big pro.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. But
most other cars wouldn't have that problem in the first place.
Right, because they'd have individual coil packs.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so Saab said, let's put them all together and some extra electronics in there.
Why not?
Right.
It's the 1990s, Dave.
These capacitors will last forever.
Yeah.
Dell also said the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
Optiplex 290.
Oh.
Yeah. Remember those?
I do not.
The Dell Optiplex 290s that would pop capacitors all the time?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Yeah.
Big thing.
IT guys. Ian,
Yes.
what else do we have?
I would like to bring up something that's been happening quite frequently. I have a...
You're very flatulent.
I have a friend named Chris.
Okay. Hi, Chris.
Who lives not here.
Yeah.
And works at an unnamed Volkswagen dealership.
Okay. Yeah.
He is a very good friend of mine. We've known each other for a long time. And he sends me, he's a service manager, rep.
He just works for Volkswagen.
He works at a Volkswagen dealership.
Yeah.
And he, on occasion, sends me just pictures out of the blue of things he sees in cars,
right,
or with the cars that show up in the shop. So,
Ian, I need an example. Okay,
let's start with something that probably a lot of people who work at car dealerships see: the Squirrels.
Oh yeah, sure.
So let's just see what happens when you park your car outside.
Yeah,
and squirrels get to it.
Yeah, look at that. So yeah. Oh, here's part 2 of the squirrel nest.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, they ate the battery cables, apparently.
Yeah.
Not so good.
Okay. All right.
Not so good.
Okay.
Let's also then go to the best part is when Chris is in the picture. So let's do the spare tire.
Okay. All right.
So this is a relatively tame one.
This is where you keep your spare tire in your car.
It's where I do it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. There's my buddy Chris right there. That's him.
And you showed me this picture, and I said, "Jesus, no! They have leather seats."
Yeah, no regard for what's happening with that.
Okay,
but then so that's that you can kind of construct a story in your head as to what happened. Like they hit something, bent a wheel, or got a flat.
Just threw it in the car.
Drove straight to the dealership.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. They were pressed for time. They were over this car. Right. They were just getting it done, right?
Is working in the service department of Volkswagen one of the most stable occupations you can have?
Probably yes.
It'd be like a if you were somehow a Range Rover fireman.
Right.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Yeah. You only treat Range Rover fires? I like that. That really tickles me. Okay. All right.
But then you also see questionable behavior of like safety. Let's do this.
Yeah. Well, safety should be included in this,
safety
but also
is included.
Their shopping an individual shopping shows up next to him.
My favorite part about this picture is that you can only see a tiny sliver of Chris's face, but
you get the entire look.
You know exactly what sort of judgment is required for this situation.
So is that coffee? Are those beans?
That's beans.
Beans. Yeah, beans.
Just a big can of beans.
So if you were to hit the brakes suddenly in that car, anything in your car becomes a projectile. Mm-hmm. And that's how you need to look at things in your car. Like you shouldn't have a lot of shit that could instantly become a deadly projectile in your car.
Absolutely.
How awful would it be to be at your funeral service and they're like, well, how did he die? Well, you see, he was slamming on his brakes to avoid a herd of puppies and orphans that had wandered into the street. And a giant can of beans from the back seat came and smitten him dead. But
he died as he loved.
Full of beans. Gassy.
So gassy.
And at a discount. He got them at Costco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so I'm sure Chris sees plenty of messy cars.
Messy cars, obviously.
Buddy.
Yeah. God. Ooh, this is a little clue because there's a Whataburger wrapper there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that gives you an idea of what section of the country it's from. But that's not the only foodstuffs.
No, there's not. There is.
Because there's also
this. How long do you think the service is going to take?
Yeah.
That your meat isn't going to go bad.
Right. Maybe it's optimistic.
Maybe they have, it is optimistic. Maybe they have cooled seats.
They do not. But I mean, maybe that's what it is.
Did you really look for the seat vents?
I did. maybe that's what's happening there.
Yeah.
Is they think maybe if I put something that will spoil and become rancid in the car, it will motivate the technicians to work quickly.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna pull the pin on this hand grenade.
Yeah. He did also send me. There was a second shot from that car of like all the air fresheners that were in the car.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Wonder why. And then there's some pictures that just bring up more questions than they answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be this one.
Yeah.
So, Chris, the look on your fucking face, man. You're my favorite part of the show. Oh, buddy. Oh, okay. So this one for the listeners, you have to watch the live stream. But for the listeners, Chris is in a car. In the passenger seat, there's a leprechaun hat, and then more mysteriously, the headrest from the passenger seat is just gone.
And lots of mail. More mail than you would expect a leprechaun to have to deal with, honestly. Like, you would think that's one of the main benefits of being a leprechaun.
No mail.
You don't have hassles like junk mail or bills or anything like that.
Nope.
But apparently that's what the pot of gold is for.
Oh, buddy. Okay. Yeah. Here, let's look at this one. This is safety. Oh, speaking of things that should not be left in your car to be a projectile, Chris is holding an axe that was laying in someone's car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that might be a hatchet or maybe even a throwing axe.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
probably.
I don't know what sort of carjacking scenario these people are worried about.
Yeah.
That's not fantastic. And then this drives me crazy.
Speaking of safety. This just cables everywhere.
And keep in mind, folks, so normally I wouldn't say much about this other than, you might want to get some cable management for that.
Right.
The thing that drives me crazy about this is that this is a Volkswagen.
Right.
Everybody.
Right. You're adding gas to the fire.
Like, that's asking for problems.
On top of that, they have an AC inverter in this outlet with a USB port, another cigarette lighter port.
Yeah.
And then an AC port. And in the AC port, they have a phone charger plugged into it instead of just getting something that plugs into your cigarette lighter that has like 4 USB ports.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, buddy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Volkswagens famously don't have any problems with electrical issues.
No,
so
not one bit.
There's no problem with doing this.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Nope. I have an FMK Cars for you, Ian.
Oh!
I don't know why, but, you know what? Let me play a quick voicemail real quick.
Oh, okay.
Because that's going to take us into the FMK Cars.
That sounds fantastic.
All right.
Dave is navigating.
Here we go.
To that. Oh.
So there is a used Bentley Continental GT at a car dealer that I pass on a work commute. And I look at it all the time, and I want to stop, and I want to test drive it, and I need your help to make this happen. Let's do it. Let's put me in a twin-turbo W12 and then walk away from it because that's probably the best decision anyone could ever make with that car. Okay, I love you. And I was talking to myself. I also love you. Again, myself. I love you, Ian. Bye.
Is this why you set up the voicemail? So you could call?
That might have something to do
and
with
leave
it.
yourself voicemail message. Have you also been sending yourself dick pics on this? Because
no comment. If you're not looking at those are the test images to see if you're checking the feed.
So I got a notification on my phone that said new voicemail from 303, and then it was gone. The notification was gone. I was like, Dave.
And you didn't go into all mail to look for it? Go to voice.google.com?
Well, no, because I wanted the surprise? I wanted the surprise to be maintained.
So there is a used car dealer that I drive past on my way to when I have to work at a certain office location of ours, and they have a Bentley Continental GT there.
Is it like a buy here, pay here place?
No. It's actually like I don't know if it's a Volkswagen dealer, but it might be like a Hyundai dealer, something like a dealer, real like marquee dealer.
Okay.
Yeah. Bentley Continental GT for $38,000.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go test drive it. What are we doing?
That's exactly why I left the voicemail, Ian.
Stream over, everyone.
Ian. Yeah. So given my thoughts on the Bentley Continental GT, I actually consider that a bucket list car for me. A car that I would like to own at some point.
Own at some point?
Own at some point. Even if it's brief.
Okay.
Like just for a year.
All right.
I would like to own a Bentley Continental GT.
Why?
Because they have a weird engine.
Yeah.
A lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
They're big.
They're very big.
Very comfortable.
Very heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like my kind of jam.
Okay. And this one was not a convertible. This one's a coupe?
Coupe.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck the convertible. No.
Don't be
Off the
ridiculous.
bucket list.
So if it's 38 grand, do you know what year it is?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So very out of warranty, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God. We should go in there and then just simply ask them how much the extended warranty would be for that car. And then just like pass the paper back and forth and take turns laughing. Just like, oh, ha, 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 ha. And then I hand it to you. And you're, ah, ha, ha. Yeah. For an hour until we are peacefully escorted from the premises. Yeah. 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 So I want to own at some point a Bentley Continental GT.
Well, I think we should go. We should go test
definitely
drive it.
go test drive it. Yeah.
I have never driven one.
Me neither. I've never driven any Bentley. Yeah.
Me either.
What do you think is the most luxurious car you've ever driven?
The most luxurious
non-sporty, like luxury-oriented car. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, it is because I asked it.
What do you have an answer for yourself?
I'm trying to think. What was the Mercedes we drove?
Yeah, we've driven like E-Class Mercedes.
E-Class, yeah.
I've driven stuff in that sort of segment, like E-Class, Mercedes, 5 Series, the Lexus.
Right.
Those sorts of things. But nothing like super. I've never driven anything super opulent. Like,
right. I think the most luxurious was the Mercedes convertible that we drove on the Rocky Mountain driving experience.
Yeah.
Did you drive that Mercedes?
No, you got to drive it.
I did. Yeah. That was one of the ones that had like the air curtain for your neck.
Right.
When the top's down. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never driven anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I really like the Continental GT. I think it looks good. I think
I think the facelift ones look good, like from the last few years.
I think the OG ones look great.
I think they just look so bulbous and like.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they look wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they grew I think it aged well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did age well. It aged better than I thought it was going to. Because at the time, it just looked so massive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now next to, like the Rolls-Royce SUV or the Bentley SUV for that matter.
Or a Toyota Tundra.
Right.
As we saw today when we were having dinner. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're starting to look a lot better. You're right. You're right in that respect.
So this is an FMK Cars.
Okay.
Of bucket list cars for me.
Okay.
And bucket list concerts.
Okay.
Okay. So everything okay?
Yes.
Okay. You can have the album, you can go to the show, you have like free access to the band or music or, whatever, right? So first up is a Bentley Continental GT.
Okay.
All right. The band is a New York City hardcore band called Orange 9mm.
An Orange 9mm. Got it.
So it was like a post hardcore, like not so brutally hardcore, but kind of like congealed. Like you've heard, I think I sent you one of those Quicksand albums one time.
Yeah.
Kind of along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah. A little bit more in your face than that, right? But like New York City hardcore, but catchy. Okay, so then another bucket list car for me. I'm going to do some tab cleanup here.
Yeah, I was getting to my notepad so I could take my notes.
Yeah. Okay, so Bentley Continental GT Orange 9mm.
Okay.
Another one, Aston Martin DB7.
Yeah.
The DB7, just straight up DB7.
Yeah.
Right?
Super cool.
Yeah. I think that's one of the best looking cars ever made.
Yeah.
Right?
It's very cool.
The Pixies is the band you get.
Okay.
All the Pixies you want.
Great.
You get to see the original lineup, listen to the album.
So this is a concert that doesn't suck.
Right.
Right. Because they're very hit and miss, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. So I saw them and they were great, but the sound was bad on the reunion tour, like back in 2004 or something.
Uh-huh.
And it was at Magnuson Arena at DU, where I don't even think they have shows anymore.
Oh, really?
The sound was awful. Like it's a hockey rink. Like it's not designed for that. The sound was horrid. But I mean, it was the original Pixies.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Original lineup. So Aston Martin DB7 and the Pixies. Huge Pixies fan. All right, then lastly, Ferrari 612 Scaglietti.
You do love this car.
I love it so much.
It's a face that only a mother and Dave could love.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
There's just something like
wonderful about it.
5% off about that car.
Welcome to me.
And I just can't, you can't quite. It's off-putting to me.
Have you looked at me? Ian, I have a weird face.
You do not have a weird face.
Okay. All right. Do you know there's something really weird with my earlobes? You've never noticed?
Are they uneven? Is that what it is?
No, it's not that they're uneven. Here, I'll take my headphones off.
All right.
Okay. Well, they are uneven because I have a crooked face, right? Just like the Pixie song, right?
Okay.
So you know how some people have an earlobe that hangs down?
So you have one attached and one detached?
I have one attached and one detached. So here's the one that hangs, right?
What?
Here's the one that's attached.
Oh, shit. You're right.
Yeah.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah. I got a weird face, Ian.
Huh.
Got a weird. It's really crooked. Not like.
According to the Punnett squares I did in high school genetics class, that's not supposed to be possible.
Well, here I am.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Right.
One of those earlobes is from a twin that you ate.
Oh, that's why that side of my back has a bunch of teeth in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That fibroid I just absorbed. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Ferrari 612.
Okay.
But the
Ferrari 612, the twin you ate in your utero.
Yeah, we ate a 456. Come at us, bro. Yeah. The band you have access to is Aphex Twin, and also I'll throw a Square Pusher in there for you.
Okay. Aphex Twin.
Yeah.
Square Pusher.
Yep. All the bleeps, all the bloops, and some of the bloop bloops.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to marry the Aston Martin and the DB7.
Okay. All right. And just jam out to the Pixies.
Yeah, and especially in coupe form.
Yeah.
That car
It's perfect.
really is
It's perfect.
Great looking.
Yeah. Yeah. That is an absolute bucket list for me.
And then I'm going to crush the Bentley because it's the car that I'm least interested in.
Okay. All right.
And then I will.
That's fine. That's fine.
For
I'm
a
okay.
day, I'm gonna drive the Ferrari and listen to your bleep bloops.
Okay. Okay. All right. Nice.
And actually, those are your bleep bloops that I like, so
Yeah.
that'll work out well.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
This is a good segue, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
This is a good segue because we got we in a weird coincidence.
Okay.
We
yeah.
had-
yeah. Let's talk about it.
We had two separate people
Yeah.
send pictures of this same car modification to us.
Right. Right.
And the eyelashes on the car.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And I think we both had the same reaction, which is like, yeah, I wouldn't do that, but like,
Right.
okay.
Right. Right. And the whole thing about that was that I really have to hand it to you because you had a fantastic point about that, and I didn't have the view that you did on it initially. It was like, okay, well, yeah, weird, but whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like for the lulz, Pep Boys gift card, cashing it in,
Right.
right? But your point was really good because you said that when you see something like that, whether it's a 3.7 badge or car eyelashes, or like your sister mentioned, somebody giving their car a name,
Yeah.
right? That they're starting to, that person is starting to think about their car as more than an appliance.
Right.
It's no longer a commuting toaster.
Right.
And we, as automotive enthusiasts, need to recognize and appreciate that energy.
Yes.
Because that energy
and encourage it.
Encourage it. You're exactly right. Because that energy is what makes the automotive enthusiast community so great, so diverse, and that's what makes it. People thinking about their car beyond just a way to get from point A to point B.
Right. And the other thing that I'll say about that particular modification that I like, as opposed to other Pep Boys-ish modifications that you see, is that it also isn't, and the car stanza stuff that we always make fun of.
Well, I have a whole aspect of car stanzas about that, but go on. Yeah.
Well, it's just that it's not trying to, it's utterly unpretentious.
Right.
Like, you're not trying to convince someone that your car is something that it's not.
Right.
Because no one's going to look at that and be like, wait, is that a puppy dog? Oh, you got me. It was a Kia.
Right.
Like, no one's doing that.
Right.
So it's just there for fun, and you're not saying that it's something that it's not, which I think is also why we tend to be more sympathetic towards, say, donks or lowriders than we are towards stance stuff, because I think stance stuff still has that sense that they're putting on airs of performance, and but they're not at all, whereas those other categories, it's
no pretension.
Yeah, we're not even going to bother trying to pretend that we have fast cars, even though we might.
Right. But that's not the point.
Right, exactly.
Right? Yeah. Like how hilarious is donk drag racing?
It's amazing.
Right? It's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Hashtag donk all the automotive outlets.
Yeah, hashtag you're about to lose your Friday down a YouTube rabbit hole of donk drag racing, which I highly recommend.
Donk all the motorsports.
Yes, absolutely.
And so with car stanzas, right? Somebody is taking that energy, or they're twisting that, in my opinion, and they do have either they have an intent to deceive or to pass the car off as something that it is not.
Yeah.
Right? Like somebody
someone's putting vents on the side of their car too.
Right.
That sort of thing.
Exactly. Or a V12 sticker, right? Or a weird V8 sticker from a Cadillac on a low, or no, it was, what was it? It was a Mercedes-Benz with a Cadillac V8 sticker that I saw. Right. I did, but then again, there's a giant kind of broy truck near that. The owner lives nearby me, and they have a Toyota hybrid Synergy drive sticker on the truck.
That's pretty funny,
right? Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's this massive Toyota pickup truck, right? Mm-hmm. But we have to wonder what the motivation was behind the Honda Fit hybrid sticker that was the Toyota hybrid Synergy drive, right?
Yeah.
Right? Anytime there's the intent to deceive, right? And like you were saying, nobody's going to go oh, your car's a puppy, or your car's a woman,
right?
Right? So eyelashes, right? It's just a crazy thing, right? Yeah. So, I really like that point that you made, Ian. That's a long way of saying I like that point you made, Ian.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Moving on to more silly things again.
Yes.
So last week, we talked about the group that someone saw.
Yeah.
Who saw that?
Our buddy Andrew saw a group of Polaris Slingshots, and we coined the term a Docker of Slingshots.
Which is genius. I literally just thought of it halfway home from your house last week and just started cracking up. It's so perfect.
But my favorite thing about the show is the stuff that we don't even think about before the show that just shows up.
And
kicks in the door like the Kool-Aid guy. Docker of Slingshots.
The best part about your riff on that was saying
our riff in
that.
Ian.
Well, but you thought of it was that it was the investment group.
Oh yeah, the investment group that finally hit it big
and got rid of their Segways, which is perfect.
You can
because they already had too much money and no style. And now they have way too much money and really no style.
And this is just the next logical step for those folks.
Absolutely. And I think you nailed that.
Thank you.
And so this got me thinking, and I think we're probably not the first people to do this. I didn't bother to look it up. But the names of groups of cars.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm going to start with an example that I thought of today because I saw one.
Okay.
I saw a gentleman filling up his G-Wagon, his G550.
Okay. All right. I have an idea for those, but go on.
What's your first thought on that one?
I was thinking a CrossFit of G-Wagons.
No, that is incorrect.
Okay, what is it?
The correct answer is a kilo of G-Wagons.
Oh, shit, that's perfect. That's perfect. A kilo of G-Wagons.
A kilo of G-Wagons.
Yes.
So the idea, again, here is to do a murder of crows or a herd of bison or whatever.
Right.
So this next one is a little bit tricky because if you're general about it, it's one name.
Oh,
and then
okay.
if you're more specific, it's a different name.
Okay, all right.
So I'm trying to think of an example of that, but like in the animal world.
Okay.
But basically, you would have a tote bag of Subarus.
Okay.
Right? These are all NPR listeners.
Yes.
A tote bag of Subarus.
A tote bag of Subarus. That's fantastic.
But if it's WRXs,
right,
it becomes a cloud.
A cloud, or a cloud, a vape shop of Subarus. A cloud of Subarus.
A cloud of
a
Subarus.
cloud of WRXs. A tote bag of Subarus.
Correct.
Tote bag of Imprezas. Cloud of WRXs.
Yeah. As soon as they are WRXs, it becomes a cloud.
You're exactly right. Right.
Mustangs. Any guesses?
Is there a name for a whole bunch of tipped over human beings that have been struck by a car?
I believe it's called a massacre, which is what I went with. A massacre of Mustangs.
A massacre of Mustangs. Nice. Okay.
It's like a murder of crows.
Yeah.
Saabs.
Oh God.
If you just saw a whole bunch of Saabs rolling together.
Yeah. Oh man, what would that be? Just tell me.
All right. Well, a lot of times when you see car groups rolling down the street together, you're like, oh, those guys are up to no good.
Right.
But if you saw a whole bunch of Saabs rolling down the street, you'd be like, they're working together. They're all going to get home.
An IKEA of Saabs?
It's a support group of Saabs.
Support group of Saabs. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Group.
Yeah, I would, or call it a Billy of Saabs.
Yeah.
The Billy bookcase. Yeah.
Yes. My last one is a little lateral.
Okay. All right.
But stick with me.
Okay.
So I don't know if anyone read from a week or 2, 3 weeks ago now, maybe, that a great, awesome profile of Gwyneth Paltrow that was in the New York Times.
No.
It was awesome.
Okay.
Everyone should go read it. But Gwyneth Paltrow also has this horrendous lifestyle brand.
Yeah, Goop.
Yeah. And it's all
put a jade egg in your vagina.
Yeah.
That was a real thing that she endorsed.
There's also steaming your vagina.
Yep.
Just all lots of stuff you shouldn't do to a vagina, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then crystals and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
And so I think you have a goop of Range Rovers.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Yeah, I really like that, Ian.
Which brings me
to an FMK car.
All right, so this one's called Birds of a Feather.
Okay.
You join a car owners group.
Okay.
And you complete every journey with all of them.
Okay.
And you roll deep. Wherever you're going, they're coming in with you. If you're running errands, they're all coming into the grocery store with you.
Okay.
All right. So this is your crew.
All right.
From now on. And you can be your existing friends.
Sure.
But we all drive the same car and we all take on the
group.
That you think of, right?
Okay.
All right. So I think this is I want to you to get your thoughts on each of these as we go.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling that you may change as we go.
Okay.
It may change. All right.
Okay.
Nissan Juke.
Okay.
The Nissan Juke.
The Juke. So we are. What is the name of our group? The Jukeboxes?
I didn't bother to think of names
for
these. A group of Jukes.
I would say a swarm of Jukes because they kind of look like hornets.
A swarm of Jukes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I would almost say, so I think the Juke was bought by people who were like your aunt who bought you the Kama Sutra for your birthday, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like a co-op of jukes
There you go.
is kind of where I'm more
a commune of jukes.
Like a commune of jukes.
How about a cuddle group of jukes?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's perfect.
Okay.
So I think like this is a car that I think gets like, it's no longer being made, but like I think people kind of are dismissive of it,
right,
out of hand, but I think it's should be celebrated in that it's very strange.
Yeah, I actually really like the Juke. I think it's funky and weird, and
I'm happy that it existed.
Yep.
I would never ever buy one.
Exactly, and
but I would also never buy a family member the Kama Sutra. But I'm glad that those people exist.
Right. You do you, weird aunt.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
you made this? Really? Yeah. All right. Toyota Camry.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. You guys will talk about nothing.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
Yeah. A Costco cheese pizza of Camrys.
Just a Costco of Camrys is perfect.
Yeah.
A Costco of Camrys.
Okay.
A bulk of Camrys.
All right. Okay.
A gross of Camrys.
Okay. All right.
And then the last.
Actually, I would call a Camry a Sam's Club. Yeah.
Oh. Shade. Bulk shopping shade being thrown over here.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah, because this black card member doesn't want to be associated with it. Go on.
Do you remember last week when you were like, I would never talk about my status on airlines or anything like that?
When it means literally nothing, then it's the best to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the last.
I giggled at your rhodium status today.
The last one will be a cloud of WRX.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So the other thing you have to think, the other aspect of this is that when you roll up with all of these people, the place you're arriving, the people there are going to instantly judge,
right,
and assess like, oh wow, there's a lot of Camrys here all of a sudden,
right.
Although actually, that would be the most innocuous one, right? Because people would just be like, a lot of cars just arrived.
Right, exactly.
That doesn't look like anything to me.
Yeah. I was talking to my buddy Steven leaving work the other day, and I was like, Steven, the automotive landscape is a bell curve. And I was like, at the top, we have this. And it was in the parking lot at work, it was Subaru Forester, Ford Escape, Subaru Forester, like all four right in a row, right? Oh, they're just cars. They just showed up, right? Yeah. I had a friend of mine that had a Mini Cooper, and I did some like Mini Cooper club rides with her. And whenever the Mini Cooper group would go somewhere, it was like the staff was just like, oh, like nobody's going to go hard today. Like nobody's going to be throwing up in the chips and salsa.
Right.
It was like the most mild-mannered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I may have to kill my cloud of WRXs because I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of energy, probably.
They're fine, but if someone gave me one, I'd just turn it around and sell it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh?
If someone gave me one, I would straight up just sell it. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said, like that we were talking about last week, for not being the cliche.
Yeah.
So, God, am I marrying a Camry in 2 FMK cars this evening? I don't know. I think I might marry the Juke.
I think you've chosen well.
And then F the Camry. Yeah.
I would marry the Juke, but F the WRX for a day.
Okay.
But I'm more comfortable being obnoxious than you.
Ian!
Dave!
Ian, I'm so happy to be back for this. I'm Dave.
I'm Ian, but we don't... No.
What? What? I was going to say things about how I'm happy to be back in the blanket forest.
You're too happy. Today is a dark day.
What? Well,
I'm just, we have this swear jar for when we mention a couple of cars.
Volkswagen Phaeton.
Yep. And whenever we talk about the president.
Yeah.
And I'm
oh, here, I'll hold it. Okay.
Yeah, so we're just gonna.
Yeah.
My arms aren't that long. I'm not a freak. We're gonna.
Ian's putting dollar bills for the audio listener. Ian's putting a lot of dollar bills into the Team ClearCoat swear jar. Ian, you treat that swear jar like I do, like when I'm taking off my clothes and you're paying me to keep them on.
This is ostensibly a car show. Today, however, we learned some news that involves the president, and I'm going to say that there is a loose coupling to cars in it.
Whoa. Okay. First off,
and a loose coupling to something we're going to talk about later in the show.
That's why I don't use this anymore. I'm holding up my Wookiee penis.
If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, so we're recording this on Tuesday, September 18th, before I'm guessing whatever happens tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. They completely like solar eclipses this, right?
Whatever it is. But today it seems like the thing that's blotting out the sun is the shape of Donald Trump's penis, which is apparently that of Toad from Mario Kart. And oh my God.
I like that Nintendo of America just tweeted that like dot, and then Toad.
That was from 2015.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did they retweet it?
Yes.
Nice.
It's amazing.
Wow. Good job, Nintendo.
So I really don't have anything to say other than,
right.
That got me thinking about shared experiences with car-based video games, which is something I'm going to come back to later in the show.
Okay. That what you had was a thought of self-preservation. You were like, "Oh God, I'm thinking about the president."
Go to the happy place.
Wang, yeah, and your brain was like,
"No, Mario Kart is fun. Mario Kart is fun.
Yeah.
Mario Kart is fun. I love you, Toad. No, not Toad.
We need to step in and interrupt this thought and process and take you to the happy island."
Yeah, what happened to my brain was, like in every horror movie where it just goes like, we're having technical difficulties.
Right.
That was that screen that happened.
Yes.
And it was just me playing Mario Kart before I knew that Toad looked like the president's penis. We know what the president's penis looks like.
With Yeti pubes.
Yeah, I forgot about the Yeti pubes. Which brings me to an FMK Cars.
FMK Cars is a game that Ian and Dave play on the Team ClearCoat podcast. It's based on the classic game Fuck, Marry, Kill, but instead of playing it with people like awful people do, they play it with cars because they're nice. F means you hit it and quit it. You drive it for a day. That's it. M means you marry it. You put on a ring on it. And
new daily driver.
Yep, exactly. And K means you kill it. You crush it immediately.
Crushed like so many Yeti pubes.
Like our innocence, Ian.
Yeah.
Like our innocence.
Yeah. So this one is called...
I'm not even comfortable like pointing my mouth towards the microphone right now.
Yeah. So this FMK Cars is entitled... Ew, 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 ew.
Good title, Ian.
Ew.
Okay.
Ew. Ew.
All right. Okay.
All right. So in this, you're going to get a car.
All right. Okay.
You're going to get a car.
Uh-huh.
And then some sort of cartoon or video game based deformity
no.
to go along with it.
Yeah.
More or less. All right.
I like my dangly bits the way they are.
I didn't say anything about dangly bits. Your mind just went right to dangly bits.
I just now got used to them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I mean, even at the best of times, no one's like, "Wow, look at this thing." But I mean, for someone who has seen a lot of them to remark upon it,
right?
That's bad.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
Just imagine all manner of things that she has seen.
Oh yeah. It's not good
for it to stand out to be bad.
Yeah.
She has a large sample size.
She does.
That's bad. And also, it's bad that I just know I'm walking around with the knowledge in my head all the time now.
Yeah.
of what the president's penis looks like.
Yeah.
We're so lucky that Lyndon Johnson didn't have Twitter. We definitely would have gotten just nonstop dick pics.
I think Taft is the one we needed to worry about.
No, Johnson was famous for talking about his penis
Really?
constantly.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't know.
Oh, he
that.
had names for it and the whole thing.
Really?
Oh, yeah, he talked about it all the time.
He didn't call it as me.
No, like he had recording.
His name's Johnson.
Well, he had a recording equipment in the
Okay,
and there
sure.
was a whole thing that's in the Library of Congress complaining about his tailor not giving him enough room in his crotch for his apparently large penis. And like he knew he put the recording equipment there.
Right.
And like went on this like 20-minute thing. It's like a thing you can look up.
I'm not going to.
Yeah. I mean, but now
I never will.
But now it just gets like
right, that's in there.
it just gets shoved in your face.
Yeah, I have like how to play Tetris.
Yeah, here's the president's
Yeah.
penis.
The Konami
stuff.
code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's bring it back. So Mario Kart,
Yes.
Toad, president's penis, Mario Kart again, cars, FMK cars, that's what we're doing.
Okay.
So this one's called The first car you're going to get
Okay.
is our beloved Mercedes E400 Cabriolet.
Oh, okay. All right.
We really, really liked that car.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
a lovely place to be.
It was wonderful.
Unfortunately, your deformity is that your hands will be replaced, and they still function,
Okay.
with the hamburger helper hand. Both of them. And they're both sentient.
Oh, that's going to make my relationship very awkward.
It's going to make a few things awkward.
I'm sorry, honey.
I mean, you don't want to get in the argument with your hand when it's, let's say, number 2 time in a public restroom,
Right.
and someone just hears you arguing. No, I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down this time. Let the other one do it.
Why'd you eat all this Thai food?
I mean, there's a lot of situations where it's not gonna, or just like giving a loved one who's having a rough day a massage, and then maybe one of them has
One of them's bored, like, I want to watch Netflix.
right, exactly,
And you're like, fuck you, hand.
yeah,
That's not what we're doing right now. Read the room.
right, all right. So that's the first one. The second one, BMW M5.
Okay.
We also really liked that car.
Yeah.
It's very, 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 very good.
Somebody should drive out towards Front Range Airport on one of the north-south roads over there and, I don't know, look for an 11 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe someone left.
Someone.
Through first, second, and third gear.
Allegedly.
Through first, second, and third gear.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It was allegedly a lot of fun.
Yeah.
With this one,
I allegedly pooed myself.
with this one, you don't have to deal with anyone being sentient.
Okay.
However, your nipples look exactly like Hubert. And then you get little legs.
with the hollow nose.
Uh-huh.
Do I have like a Cupert on my nipples, or is
your nipples are Hubert, but each one of them
so
is
I have like eyes and then
the little
like,
legs.
Yeah, so like the areola. I mean,
Is the
I want to
body.
go deep on this.
Yeah, the areola is like the body, and then the nipple is like his nose thing.
Okay, but-
nose, mouth. It's like he has the face equivalent of what a duck has.
Right.
What is that? A cloaca?
Yeah,
You know,
cloaca.
just the one hole for everything. That's what Hubert has on his face. And then you got legs.
Oh God, I could never look at Cubert the same. I always just assumed he had a butt.
This is definitely the episode that I'm just going to send to family members when they ask about this. Like, yeah, you should watch this and listen to her.
And like, I don't know, Lamborghini's like, why should we give you a car? And we're
Well.
like, we'll hit play.
Have you ever thought about having Hubert for nipples?
When was the last time you were a cloaca? Oh, okay.
Oh, we're not done. We got one more. All right.
Yeah.
So the last one, you get a car that you really like,
Okay.
a Hyundai Veloster.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
you are not deformed in any way. In fact, no one is deformed. However,
Okay.
you have a phone with you, and you have a nephew that you're very, very proud of.
Okay.
And you talk to every single person you meet.
Okay.
You have to bring up your nephew and show them pictures.
Okay.
And it will all just be pictures of Crash Bandicoot. He's scrolling. Well, here he is. Here he is graduating 8th grade. He's so smart. Top of his class. Top of his class. He had a bout of leukemia though when he was younger. I mean, look at him. It's all just Crash Bandicoot pictures.
Oh,
that first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it'll just all be the same picture. Crash Bandicoot.
Okay. All right. Okay. Unfortunately, I have to kill the Mercedes E400 because these things
they see some things.
They have important work to do, Ian.
Yeah. You can't have a mutiny on your hands.
Stop it. Or could I do that for one day?
I mean, I'm kind of interested to know what they think about my daily activities, which are all disgusting.
I don't think I could. Just knowing that there was a sentient being on my hands that experienced that,
right.
I could not handle it.
You couldn't do that to someone.
I couldn't live with that. So I have to
even
to
if
kill
it was that
scenario.
annoying ass hamburger helper thingy.
Yes, yeah, that I want to shove in the oven every time I see it on TV. Like, I'll help you into the oven.
Yeah.
So then I think I am going to F the Hyundai and showing people my Crash Bandicoot nephew, my Crash nephew-coot, my Crash Bandifew.
Like, seriously, what if somebody came up to you and was like, my nephew is the smartest kid. He's so well behaved.
Just screen grabs and
It's
pictures.
just all Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. I don't know. We can try it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I'm going to marry the BMW M5 and Cubert nipples.
Yeah, no, that's worth it.
Yeah.
That's worth it.
It absolutely is, Ian. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the story that we were talking about before we started rolling.
Sorry, my nipples are off cam. I was just like gesturing at my Cubert nipples. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah.
I bet our iTunes listeners are just so excited that they have opted out of the YouTube experience because it's all just you rubbing your nipples.
You were saying, Ian,
the story, because you were saying that like that's a punishment, or that's a result worth the punishment.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
We were telling a story, or I was telling a story that I had heard about a distant relative whose sons are like 12 and 14.
Let's tell this story. Yeah.
And this is
two boy sons.
sons.
Yeah. Two, and they fight all the time, right?
Yeah.
Just at each other's throats.
And so
12 and 14.
Yeah.
That's a rough age.
And so they keep ratcheting it up. And the 12-year-old stole the 14-year-old's phone.
I love this so much.
And changed every single contact to just the word penis. And apparently got super grounded, but was just like, worth it.
Worth it.
Totally worth it. I would do it again.
Woo!
And you know what? Right now, Dave, if you left your phone unlocked in front of me, I would do that to you right now. Any of you anyone. If I saw your phone open, now that I know that that's a I would just do that. And that is the maturation curve.
Right.
Of the average male from 12 to 36. Just a fucking straight line.
Just a plateau.
Just a horizontal line.
Can you imagine just looking at your text threads like penis, 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 and you're scrolling. Penis, penis.
Siri, call penis.
Yeah.
There are 457 penises in the
Which would you like me to call?
Yes.
Ian?
Fantastic.
Yeah. So what would you do in this scenario?
Oh, I would take Cubert nipples any day. I really hope someone just tuned in to the YouTube live stream.
I think we found an episode title.
I would take Cubert nipples in a second.
Okay.
And then I think you're right. I think you do Crash Bandicoot for a day,
Right.
because that would be hilarious.
That would be pretty funny. Yeah, but it would get old if you did that every day. Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
Yeah. Whew. Okay. All right. Oh man, God, I don't know where to go from Cubert nipples.
Anyway, so I was on my way back.
Yeah.
And I was on the highway, and it was 9:15 at night, so it was dark out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I see a Jeep Cherokee SRT.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Up ahead of me.
All right. Pull up a picture.
Temp tags.
Okay.
And no lights on. So like this is like the plague of the daytime running lamp legislation is that people now they see a little bit of light in front of them and like, oh, my lights are on.
Yep.
But they're completely dark behind them.
Yeah.
And he was moving pretty quick.
Yeah.
And like I could see him he wasn't like making lots of lane changes, but when he wasn't using his turn signal either. So he was like totally blind from people behind.
Like a car ninja.
And it turned out that it looked like we were going to maybe get off at the same intersection or
exit.
And so I gave him a little light flash.
Yeah. Like, hey, your lights aren't on, dude.
And I gave him like a rapid like that, you know, because that's more of a like a alert.
Hey,
something's wrong.
Up. Yeah.
At least in my mind, that's what it was.
Right. Yeah.
And I think he honked at me, and so I like just went around him, and then I had to get off at the exit, and so he like gunned it because he heard me. He must have, because I was in my Volkswagen, so he heard me, and he probably thought I was like
trying to fuck with him. He thought you were trying to street race him or something. Yeah.
And so like he tried to like not let me over.
Oh God. Okay.
But so I got over, and then he got off after me, and so I'm like, oh well, he thinks that something really weird went wrong there. And so I rolled down my window and I motioned him to come up because there was no one behind us.
Sure.
And he goes, do you have a fucking problem? And I was like, man, your lights aren't on. And he goes, oh, okay, thanks. And just like squealed off like the most like sheepish burnout that has ever happened ever. But he just went right for, you got a fucking problem.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, your lights aren't on.
You know, it's almost like we had some kind of insane issue with like male aggression in this society.
Just a skosh.
Yeah. Wow. Ian. Right? Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I thought I was doing a good deed.
Right. So what is in this guy's mind when he sees you waving to him?
Yeah, what does he think is
this
gonna
motherfucker
happen?
wants a piece of me.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right? Yeah.
I had nothing. So I just told him what was going on, and he obviously felt ashamed. He didn't say sorry or anything else. He goes, oh, okay, thanks. And then just like peeled out and left.
Did he turn his lights on?
Yes, he did.
Then you did the Lord Jeebus's work, Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then he could have gotten pulled over or something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Ian, God, be careful out there, everybody. God, that's the theme of the show, for the love of God.
Yeah, that's the theme of the show. You've said that a few times, but before it was Cubert nipples, so.
Yeah, this.
Yeti pubes.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
So we were talking about Saabs, and I was talking about my Viggen, of course, right? And I said that Saab, in my opinion, Saab did not do anything better than the Viggen.
And I did that annoying thing that people sometimes do where they anticipate the end of your sentence.
Right.
And begin to respond before you finished it.
Uh-huh.
And I thought the end of that sentence was going to say they didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
So I was like, well.
Right. But no, they did plenty of things wrong. But whether or not they did something wrong is completely different than they never did anything better.
It's a very different standard.
If you get nothing but if you have gotten C's and D's on tests and then you get a B-,
right.
You've still made mistakes.
Yes. Yes.
And you've never done better than a B-, but it's not like you didn't do anything wrong. So I really like thinking about, like, I don't know, it's like grading cars on a curve almost.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. For Saab,
yeah, exactly.
This was good,
right?
Yeah. Compared to Porsche,
right?
Pretty lackadaisical on the quality.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that, grading cars on a curve. Yeah. Well, thank you, Nick. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, thank you, Joe, for sending that stuff in.
Yes. Everyone keep sending us stuff. Call us on the hotline at
720-515-1391. I don't know. I haven't called it for a little bit.
I know.
Yeah.
Email, we're teamclearcoat@gmail.com. You can find all the particulars at teamclearcoat.com. We're on the media, social, blah, blah, blah. All of that.
Yeah. All of those things, Ian.
We love you.
Yes, we certainly do.
Goodbye.